Today, the moon continues in Aquarius and it reaches third quarter a little bit after 2 p.m. Pacific time. And that third quarter moon brings us 3/4 of the way through the moon cycle that began with a very Aries moon back on April 17th. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe for Saturday, May 9th. And we are, of course, moving through this moon cycle that began with so much Aries energy. We had Neptune, Saturn, Mars, Mercury, Sun, and at one point Venus in Aries. So much about new beginnings. Now, Aries is the energy of babies and springtime and new growth and the beginning of the growing season. So it's when things are brand new, full of promise, full of hope for the future. And it's when we move things in new directions. So really that energy of stepping into new ways of being going forward. With the outer planet alignment of Saturn and Neptune, both in Aries, we are planting seeds of a long-term cycle that goes for about 4 decades. So we're really at the beginning of this long cycle of bringing bigger projects and ideas and identities and new shapes and structures and systems into being. So we are doing that in our individual lives as well as how we come together in our communities to imagine the future and what we want that to look like. So this moon cycle that we are now at the 3/4 point, the last quarter moon, so the moon is half full and waning, heading toward that next new moon. We have this turning point. So we have this turning point in this Aries moon cycle that is about integration, about seeing how we need to change in order to step into these new identities and projects that have to do with what we are beginning, what we're starting to create or step into. So there are big cycles going on, like I said, 4 decades. And then we also have this very short-term moon cycle with all of these faster moving Aries planets. So in the more personal here and now, we also have this big picture Aries energy. So the here and now adds onto, remember how waves are additive? When you add one wave on top of another, it makes a bigger wave. We have a big wave of Aries energy. And so the here and now Aries energy is adding on to the long-term Aries energy and this big push to move forward. So in other words, for the last 3 weeks, we've been stepping into this energy of new beginnings. What does it look like? Where do we want to go? How do we want to change directions or think about things differently? And stepping into what it is we want to create, the new ways of being, but also the new systems and structures, the projects we want to put in motion, the things we need to take action on to make them happen. So getting out of that realm of dreams and visions and ideas and the big picture thinking and really shifting gears into on the ground action to make those things happen. So that's what we've been focusing on since that Aries new moon on April 17th. And with this third quarter moon, we come to the part of that moon cycle, that big wave of Aries energy put in motion, where we need to integrate and to see what needs to change in how we're thinking, how we're approaching things, what our beliefs are, what needs to change to bring us into alignment with what we're creating now that we know a little bit more about what it's going to look like. And this third quarter moon is in Aquarius. So that means that with the third quarter energy of integration and stepping into what it means to become who we need to become to fulfill the promise of what we want to create, we're thinking about that in terms of the Aquarian energy of authenticity. So identity, sense of self, who you are, how you are being different, how you need to be different, how you need to get outside the box of how it's been done in the past, or or somebody else might be doing it, and do it your own way. So that sense of freedom of how we need to step into who we really are to do things in a way that is effortless because it comes from that place of our uniqueness. In other words, we're not trying to fit what we are starting into a box. We're not trying to gain approval or somebody else's stamp of approval for what it is we are doing, right? So we need to do it our own way. We also need to get outside the box to imagine what it could look like if we're not trying to fit into old expectations or norms or the status quo. So shaking things up, getting outside that box. And that is part of this third quarter moon, about how we need to recognize what needs to shift or change as we embark on these new directions. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms, and you can learn more about me at transformationalastrology.com. Stay tuned. I will have more to share with you very soon. So grab a free account at transformationalastrology.com. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. So thank you for hitting that subscribe button and supporting what I am doing. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.